What is the CBQ method? Why does it make quitting smoking easy? What does CBQ stand for? And most importantly, how can you use it to break free from nicotine? Because right now, quitting smoking may seem hard and even impossible. I know because I was a smoker too. When I was a smoker, I felt guilt and shame every day. I was constantly torn between my desire to be a non-smoker and my desire to smoke. I loved and hated smoking at the same time. Quitting smoking was hard. It was like navigating a wild, hostile forest with no map, no trail, no protective equipment. I always felt lost. And despite being a psychologist, I kept losing my motivation and failing. I tried every quit smoking approach, and I mean every single one, and I failed more times than I can count. I went cold turkey using sheer willpower many times. I used the nicotine patch, I switched to vaping, got hypnotized, became a certified hypnotherapy practitioner too. I took medication, all that, hoping that if I could stay away from cigarettes long enough, my desire to smoke would eventually go away. This never happened. All my attempts ended in despair and a cigarette between my fingers. Nothing helped me get unstuck until I discovered the secret of happy non-smokers. I'll tell you about it. So when I discovered the secret of happy non-smokers, I developed the CBQ method that helped me quit smoking over 10 years ago. And since then, my team and I have perfected this method so it can apply to all different smokers and all forms of nicotine addiction, including vaping, smokeless tobacco, cigars, and the nicotine gum. So fast forward to today, the CBQ method has been recognized worldwide, it has multiple awards because of its effectiveness, and most importantly, it has reached and helped millions of smokers become happy non-smokers. So let's see what is the CBQ method, and then we will see how it can help you even if everything else you've tried has failed. The CBQ method is a psychology-based method that helps you stop smoking naturally and easily in 4 steps without feeling deprived, even if you love cigarettes. CBQ stands for Cognitive Behavioral Quitting. Cognitive is changing how you think about smoking so you can stop wanting it. Behavioral is about breaking your associations with smoking, the habit, so you can stop reaching for a cigarette or your vape or any form of nicotine. That way, by doing those things, you can set yourself free from smoking without gaining weight, without suffering from cravings and withdrawals, and without using any willpower, medication, or nicotine substitutes. In other words, you become a happy non-smoker. Happy non-smoker means not feeling deprived, not missing smoking every day, being happy with your decision to live nicotine-free. So let's see what makes the CBQ method different from what you've seen and tried before, because what makes it different, and there are 6 things, what makes it different is also what makes it so effective. So number 1, the CBQ method is a process. The CBQ method is not a vague method or a collection of information you can find on the internet or books or apps. It is a logical process, a step-by-step recipe that you can understand how and why it works because it has those 4 steps, those 4 stages. Each stage builds upon the other and is designed to take you from a smoker, a conflicted smoker, to a happy free non-smoker. And I told you before that quitting smoking is like navigating a wild and hostile forest. It's hard and painful when you have no trail, map, or protective equipment. You get lost, you fall down, and at the end you find yourself right back where you started. The 4 stages of the CBQ method are the map to navigate and escape the wild forest. They follow the trail that other smokers have walked before you, and they equip you with all the tools you need to silence your cravings and become a happy non-smoker. Following a process means you know what to do every step of the way. A process means you're never afraid or in panic. A process means quitting smoking is easy. A process means you change bit by bit instead of forcing it after your quit date. A process is like a well-refined recipe. If you follow the steps, you know you will get the same delicious cake every time with the recipe. Same with quitting smoking. It does not have to depend on luck or hope or magic. It is a process, a recipe that once you follow these 4 steps, you will just not want to smoke anymore. And these 4 stages, they're not random. They're the same stages you went through when you became addicted to smoking. In fact, they're the same stages we all go through to form or break any habit or addiction. I'll tell you what are the 4 stages later in the video. Okay, number 2. The CBQ method solves the real problem. It removes the root, the core of your addiction. Most people believe that nicotine is a strong physical addiction. That's just not true. Nicotine is weak. It is a substance with a short half-life, which means that 50% of the nicotine in your body is gone around 2 hours after you have a cigarette. The other 50% has left your body 3 to 5 days after you stop smoking, after you stop putting nicotine in your body. That's it. It only takes 5 days to beat your physical addiction. Then the question is, why do we miss smoking long after nicotine has left the body? And what makes smoking feel like a friend and part of our identity? This is the mental addiction. The addiction to smoking is only 20% physical. The other 80% is all mental. Of course, these percentages are not quantifiable. 80%, 85%, 90%, 99%. The point is, smoking is a mental addiction. The mental addiction is your desire for cigarettes, your relationship with smoking, the belief you need it, the perception that it's your friend, the reasons why you smoke, the associations you have with it, the fact that it is part of everything you do. That is the real problem. So using pills or using patches and gums that feed your body lower doses of nicotine, this does not address your relationship with smoking. It only prolongs your nicotine withdrawal that goes away anyway after 5 days. Physical cravings go away. And using those products feeds to the idea that you need nicotine to survive, which keeps you more addicted. So to stop smoking, to really be done with it, you need to address the real cause of your addiction, the mental addiction. The 4 stages of the CBQ method remove the mental and behavioral attachment to smoking. When you're mentally free from smoking, you simply don't want to smoke. When you break the mental addiction, the physical part silently fades away in the background. And I have other videos on why and how this happens. So, moving on. Number 3. This is a very important one. With the CBQ method, you first become a non-smoker and then you stop smoking. This is the biggest mistake smokers make. I've made it too many times. What we do is that we quit smoking in the heat of the moment, on a Monday, when the pack is finished, when we wake up with a cough, on a birthday, before a wedding, when we're motivated in the moment for whatever reason. So you quit just like that and then hope it's going to last. But as the days go by, your motivation decreases, your cravings increase, you start missing smoking, you think, I can't do this forever, you get irritated, and your craving mind lures you back with a siren song of just one cigarette. It wasn't the right time. It's not worth it to be unhappy. It feels like a battle against the clock, and eventually you relapse. And maybe you've already experienced this more than once. Now, what if I told you that you can avoid all this struggle, you can avoid all this pain by doing one thing differently? Instead of quitting smoking and then trying to manage and then trying to cope, the CBQ method does the opposite. With the CBQ method, you first become a non-smoker and then you quit. You first become a non-smoker in your thoughts, in how you cope, in how you meet your needs, in your routines, and then you stop smoking. The result? After your quit date, you never feel deprived or irritated or struggle with cravings. It is a smooth transition and it lasts. Now, what does it mean to become a non-smoker before your quit date, and how does the CBQ method help you do that? First, it's with a mental change, where you change how you think about smoking. Instead of seeing smoking or nicotine as the friend that gets you through hard times, or seeing it as an inseparable part of your life that you cannot live without, you start seeing smoking and nicotine simply as the drug you once got addicted to. When you do that, all the illusions drop, not just logically, but emotionally too. It doesn't feel like a friend anymore at all times. Of course, to quit smoking, you don't have to hate smoking, you just stop wanting it. And it's also the behavioral change. Smoking is an addiction with a very strong habitual component. That's what makes some people say that smoking is more addictive than heroin. Nicotine is not a more addictive substance than heroin by any stretch of the imagination, but it may seem like that because nicotine weasels its way into every aspect of our lives. Every activity, every emotion, every problem is paired with a cigarette. So with time, we feel incomplete without a cigarette, and that urge, that impulse, that behavior of smoking happens automatically. We reach for a cigarette. So the CBQ method breaks your associations with smoking and the impulse to reach for a cigarette, and do that without forcing it and without having to use your willpower. Like I tell our members in the CBQ program, the goal is not to quit smoking. Yes, you heard that right. The goal is not to quit smoking. The goal is to become a non-smoker, to think like someone who does not need nicotine without forcing it. Because if the goal is to quit smoking, you'll do it 1,000 times. You probably know the quote by Mark Twain that says, "Quitting smoking is easy, I've done it 1,000 times." Funny, yes, but nobody wants that. Nobody wants to quit smoking and fail 1,000 times. However, if the goal is to become a non-smoker, quitting smoking is easy, and you only have to do it once. The first 3 stages of the CBQ method detach you from smoking mentally and behaviorally, then you stop smoking at the end of the 3rd stage, and it's a smooth transition, and the 4th stage is the security and the aftercare. Okay. Number 4. The CBQ method works because it's based on cognitive behavioral science. The CBQ method is a new method that draws from different fields like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, neuroscience, psychoanalysis, and more. Also, the CBQ method was modeled on the success, the secrets, the patterns of happy non-smokers. When I was developing the CBQ method, I interviewed ex-smokers for days. And after a while, I started seeing that happy non-smokers of 20 plus years, they had certain things in common. And those things had nothing to do with how long they smoked, how much willpower they thought they had, or even what approach they used at the time. No. All these people succeeded because they had done certain things. So I took those patterns, I stress tested them against research, and I used my background in psychology to create a 4-step process, a recipe that anyone can follow to succeed. That is the CBQ method. But the CBQ method is not only based on cognitive behavioral science, it is embodying it, it applies it, it is it. Because the CBQ method combines theory with practice, understanding and doing. Many approaches, and you know this, many approaches talk at you. They just offer information, and then you just have to figure out how this applies in the real world. But to achieve anything, it's not enough to just get information. Otherwise, a simple Google search would have made everyone thin, rich, and famous. It doesn't work like that, and this applies to everything. You cannot learn, for example, you cannot learn how to swim just by being informed about it. You can read all the books about swimming. You can be hypnotized to swim. You can take magic pills that promise to make you swim. But unless you get into that water and you know how to move your body in a practical, step-by-step way, it's not going to happen. You will drown. So any achievement is the result of combining theory with practice, understanding and experiencing that understanding bit by bit. And when it comes to quitting smoking, you need the right information in combination with the right exercises so you can succeed. Theory and practice, cognitive and behavioral. That's what it takes to change years of conditioning and find it easy, and that's what the CBQ method does differently. And number 6. The CBQ method reprograms your brain. Now, what does that mean? Becoming addicted is a process. Breaking the addiction is reversing that process. This is one of the CBQ method principles. Addictions are learned. You programmed yourself to believe that smoking is an inseparable part of your life, and you can unlearn that program. Because here's how this works. Your mind is like a computer that runs many programs that help you do things quickly and automatically. Some programs are helpful, like driving, opening doors, writing, or walking. But other programs are not. The mental addiction to smoking is an unhelpful program you've been running for so long, it has become automatic. You taught yourself to expect a cigarette every time you drive, every time you drink coffee, socialize, or take a break. Now, all these situations feel incomplete without a cigarette. This is not because smoking really gives you these benefits, really helps you drink coffee or socialize. No, it's because you're running the smoker's program in your mind. So the 4 stages of the CBQ method help you reverse that program and do that before your quit date. They help you reprogram your mind back to that of a non-smoker. And I'm saying back to that of a non-smoker because that's the truth. Being smoke-free is your natural state. You were born a non-smoker, so you can go back into being one. This is your true self. Your mind and your body, they know by default how to be and how to thrive without nicotine. So now I'll show you what are the 4 quit smoking stages, but briefly because I have other videos diving into each stage and each of the principles we talked about. So the first stage is choose to quit. In this stage, you make a firm decision to stop smoking, even if you feel pressured and stuck. A real decision helps you commit to your goal without forcing it and without losing motivation. Stage 2 is change your mindset. In this stage, you retrain your mind and you release the limiting beliefs and fears that keep you stuck to smoking. It's like breaking free from a toxic relationship. After this stage, you no longer see smoking as part of you, even if you've been smoking all your life. Stage 3 is change your smoking pattern, your smoking habit, in other words. This stage breaks your associations with smoking and the sometimes irresistible and automatic urge to light up. After this stage, your triggers will be gone and your cravings will last a second if you have cravings. You will still experience stress or boredom in your life. You can live your life normally. You will just not want to smoke. And because of this transformation up to this point, at the end of this stage, you will be ready and excited to smoke your last cigarette. It will be a smooth transition. And stage 4, after your quit date, is condition your smoke-free life. This stage protects your success and removes any residues from your smoking program, so you will never miss nicotine again. So, this is what the CBQ method is all about. Why it works and why it will work for you, even if you've been smoking all your life and you've tried everything. The CBQ method will help you break free. Thanks for watching. To get started with the CBQ method for free and stop smoking easily without willpower, even if you love cigarettes, make sure you get the CBQ Getting Started guide and video. The link is in the description below. You will absolutely love this guide and this video. You will discover the 4 quit smoking stages, how they made you a smoker, how they help you break free, and you will also get a beautiful and practical PDF guide to help you along your journey, to be your actual map out of the smoking forest. The CBQ method was created by a psychologist and ex-smoker to help you become a happy non-smoker before your quit date so that quitting smoking becomes an easy, smooth transition. It's all about that. That's how you become a non-smoker and remain a happy non-smoker. If you want to check out our award-winning quit smoking program, the CBQ program, or join our free Facebook group community full of supportive people and inspiring stories, or become a CBQ coach or CBQ partner, check the links below this video. I'll see you next time.